Just wanted to get on here and yap a little. It's been a couple days since I last filmed. And this is sort of art related. This is like something I've been thinking about for a very long time. If you know me, you know that I ponder the attention economy and if it has to be this way, like all the time with social media and everything. And if the internet is really being used in the best way for us as like people, as the tool that it was designed to be, or if it's become this weird money machine. My interest in the attention economy started 7 or 7 years ago. Sorry, teacher trauma just kicked in. About 7 years ago when I read this book, How to Do Nothing by Jenny Odell. I read it in my 3rd or 4th year of university. And I've been reading it pretty much annually since, like sections of it. It's a very good book, and it's all about resisting the attention economy and regaining your intentional use of time. So that's what put me on to the attention economy. I really do recommend it if you're interested in anything about that. It's a good book. But this morning, I was thinking about my first cell phone. For some reason, a week ago or so, I dove into like the idea of Substack, and so I wrote a little piece. I haven't told anybody about it, but I wrote a little piece on Substack about my relationship with social media and how I'm feeling right now. Also, I have a new cold, I'm noticing. But I was thinking about my first cell phone versus my sister's first cell phone. I'm the older sister. I'm 4 years older than my sister. And in my little Substack bit, I talk about my first cell phone and how it was like this little tiny, on God, it was like this tall and like an inch wide. And the screen was like a square inch. And it had like a little slide out keyboard, and honestly it was the best keyboard I've ever had on a phone. Like, I miss that thing every day. I think about it all the time when I'm like ripping away on my iPhone. I'm like, man, it would be so much nicer if these buttons clicked. Like, the sensory experience of that little LG slide was fantastic. But it was like cutting edge when I was 13. Like, that was like the epitome of a great phone. Like, I think the only thing that I could have gotten that would be better would be like the very first BlackBerry, and people were starting to get that once I got into high school, like literally the year later. But in grade 8 I had like this little slide out phone. I kept it for like 2 or 3 years. Like, I kept it until that thing died, dude. But that was my phone that I had. It could call, it could text, and I don't even know if it could connect to the internet. I know that I could upload music onto it if I plugged it into our family computer, but the storage was really small. So I could only upload like 3 songs at like shitty quality on there at a time. And that would just be like the 3 songs I got to listen to if I felt like listening to music that way. Like, I never did. I usually did that so I could make one into a ringtone. But, and this is huge, 4 years later, on my sister's 13th birthday, I guess my parents said 13 was the year you could have a phone in my household. The cats are wrestling, and I apologize, but I'm on a roll here, and if I stop, I will forget. When my sister turned 13, she got an iPhone 5 or something, or like an SE or something like that, around the time that the 5th iPhone came out. And also, like, when she was 13, I was 17. So I also had an iPhone at that point. I've been thinking about the fact that the iPhone really has only been around for like just over 10 years. And the internet, how we know it now, has definitely only been around for like 10 or 12 years. Like, it's all so new. Doesn't necessarily, like, it's so brand new, you know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be that way, I think, personally. Sue me. Personally, I think we could use the internet as tools and not as these distracting things. Unfortunately, companies want us to be distracted by them. They want us to be spending as much time on these devices as possible. And I've been thinking a lot about like how I could use the internet as a tool. Like, obviously I think I've said it before on here, but like, I kind of hate most social media. I love this YouTube thing. I love yapping. I love long form content. Like, YouTube is probably my favorite platform of all the platforms because it feels kind of like I'm on FaceTime with my friends, or I'm learning something crazy new and different, like I use it as an educational tool, or I'm like on FaceTime with somebody who's showing me some ropes with my art biz or something. You know, like Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and all of those other things like that, they don't even show you the stuff from the people you follow. Like, at least YouTube is still showing me things from the people I follow. Like, there is this whole algorithmic thing going on, but they generally show me the stuff from the people I'm following as like a, hey, this person uploaded a video, by the way. And then there might be stuff from people I'm not following. Well, there always is, but it's not like I'm forced to engage with it. I can like still pick and choose which one I want to engage with, and I prefer that over TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, where I'm just like seeing random stuff that the algorithm's like, oh, she'll want to see that. Oh, I'll keep her on here. Oh, who cares if she wants to see her friends? Like, I tried to scroll genuinely on my like personal account Instagram feed to see things that my friends were up to, because I haven't done that in a long time, and it was just like a bunch of ads or a bunch of posts from people that I definitely didn't follow, because if I clicked on their name it would suggest that I follow. And even when I went to the like, you can click on the Instagram logo and then go to following only, it was just like the bigger creators that I was following. Like, I follow a couple bigger artists and I follow a couple musicians, stuff like that, people who are getting traction on their posts already. I was still seeing nothing of what my friends were posting. So that is really frustrating, because if this is supposed to be a tool for connection and keeping up, which is how it was marketed to me, why am I not getting to do that anymore? Anyway, so I've been thinking a lot about the attention economy recently, probably because my homie Aaron at Aaron Ronnie Creative has been talking about it a lot, and we've been able to like yap, and it's re-inspired this like super big interest of mine. But yeah, I've been working on using the internet as a tool as opposed to a thing that's distracting, which is hard because they've also like, the main technological advancements that we have made in the last 5 years have been all around like essentially like biohacking our psyches to get us to buy the thing that people want us to buy, to market more specifically, to predict our behavior, and to then keep us locked in to the algorithms so they can serve us all of those aforementioned things. Like, we have not really improved our technology, I want to say, since like, I feel like the iPhone 8. Like, honestly, it's all just been the same thing since then. They have like different cameras or whatever, but they're all identical, really. And that was kind of a meme for a while, but like every smartphone is that. We haven't actually improved since then. And you know, it's only been 15 years since I had that little LG slide. Like, it's not been a very long time. And I think we are starting to see the repercussions of being chronically online and being constantly distracted by our devices, and like living like that being a problem. And it's weird because I remember in high school, after I got my iPhone and I could get all these other notifications, I lived with my phone on silent because I was really sick of my phone calling me to it. And I still would love to do that. Like, to be honest, I'm a do not disturb girly on almost all the time. But like, I lived with my phone on dead silent so that I had to choose to use it. And the only time I took it off of silent, I would put it on vibrate if I was gonna be out of the house at like a weird time and I knew my mom was probably gonna like text or call and be like, hey, are you alive? I wish I could do that now, because there were ways for people to get a hold of me if they needed to without my phone being on historically. But now that I live with my partner in a different city than all of my family members, it's kind of the only way that they could get to me if something bad happened. So I'd like, I feel this desire to like leave it at least on do not disturb, so that if my like mom called or my dad called, I would be able to like, it would ring through and I would answer. So yeah, I don't really know the best way to deal with this. I've gone many a time trying various strategies of how to like turn my devices back into tools that I can use for my like creative purposes, or just like to be alive. Like, for instance, typing out a book that you're writing is just more efficient than writing with pen and paper. There's just things that these tools are good for that I want to be able to utilize without picking them up and then going, oh, what the hell am I doing and why did I start doing that? Why am I scrolling? So the other thing is that I also like need to use these platforms for this art business, right? Like I do see some success on Instagram and I do see some success on TikTok in like reaching my like potential audience. So I also don't want to just like quit them, but it's like, how do I integrate them in a way that won't be distracting? Like, do I put them on my iPad and then just use them on my iPad? Because if you've ever tried to use Instagram on an iPad, it's infuriating because it's phone sized on your like giant screen and you're like, okay, cool. Or like, do I download and delete the apps all the time so that when I'm posting something I can post it, but then it's not there for me to infinitely scroll? Because I also have noticed that if I don't have the option to do it, I will just go do something else. Yeah, so it's just like a thing that's like creeping into our lives a bit more seriously than it was before. And I think everybody's feeling it. I've noticed there's like this big, like mass exhaustion around social media. I noticed most people like complain about feeling kind of foggy and fuzzy and distracted. And the biggest thing that I remind myself when I scroll is that every time you like hit that slot machine of scrolling to the next TikTok or the next reel or the next post, you are scrolling through your feelings. You're having physiological, emotional responses to whatever you're seeing. And that is really exhausting. Like, our bodies are not designed to feel 100 different ways in an hour. Like, that is really exhausting for you physically. So of course you feel fuzzy and confused because you spent an hour or 2 hours or whatever just like dissociated doing this weird repetitive thing with a lot of sensory input. Social media is bright, it's colorful, people are yelling at you. Like, it's not an ideal situation. I kind of want my life back. I'm gonna say it. And I think I would feel more creative and feel more alive and have the energy for seeing all my friends, and also most importantly feel like I have more time for myself again if I wasn't scrolling or on social media or like watching YouTube as often. If I had other things that I prioritized and made easier to do than sitting and scrolling, maybe I would, you know, feel like a person. So yeah, this is my message to you to consider what you could do to feel more like a person if you haven't been feeling like a person. If you're loving your time on the attention economy, whatever, that's fine, ignore me. But if you're like, yeah, maybe it's time to make a change, maybe I should do something, pick something small, like buying an alarm clock and sleeping with your phone out in the kitchen where it's charging in the kitchen. Something little like that. Please take care of yourself. Read this book and take care of yourself.
Heyo, just popping in over this clip to tell you about my new mail club. It's $7 Canadian a month if you want to join, and extra shipping might be tagged on if you're international, but in Canada the $7 includes the shipping. Mail for each month will be sent out the first week of the following month, so if you were to sign up in January, your letter would be sent early February. And in the club, you'll receive a handwritten letter from me discussing interests outside of my art, like books I'm reading or concepts I've been pondering, as well as art updates and a couple goodies. The goodies are varied, but you can expect to receive things along the lines of mini prints, stickers, zines, or even exclusives that are just for Mail Club members. If you're interested, you can sign up through my Ko-fi below, and also if you make a purchase on my shop for over $7, you're automatically added to the Mail Club for that month. Anyways, let's get back into it.
So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what I've been knitting on recently, because I finished a lot of the things that were fiber-based from my shop, and it's now November 17th, which means the holidays are coming. First off, I would like to say if your name is Leah, and you're my best friend, and you're watching this to support me, and I appreciate you so much, you gotta skip ahead, girl. You gotta skip ahead to this timestamp here because I'm talking about your birthday and things you might be getting for your birthday. And I just, I don't want you to ruin it for yourself. So, get out of here, buddy. I'll see you in a minute. This is gonna be, I think they're called the sailor slippers. Hold on, I went like full grandma and printed out the pattern on paper. Yeah, these are the sailor slippers by Annie Sews. And they're taking over the fiber side of the internet. But they feel like such a practical knit gift for people. So I have a couple colors. I have this beautiful blue. I got it all at this place called Lens Mills. If you're in Southern Ontario, you might know about Lens Mills, but I'm sure this is available at Michael's as well. Lens Mills is like it does the same thing as like Home Sense, where they take stuff that hasn't sold from bigger retailers and then resells it at like a slight discount. So this is the Patton's Classic Worsted. I have a couple colors. So I have this beautiful blue color, country blue. I don't know how to describe it. I think it's showing up pretty accurately on camera. It's like a nice warm blue. I think it would make a beautiful sweater if you weren't like a yarn itch girl. It is 100% wool. You need to do 100% wool for this pattern because you felt the thing after you knit it. I also have this beautiful burnt orange. It's showing up a little brighter on camera than it is, but it's like this dusty burnt orange color that I think will make such pretty slippers for somebody I have in mind. Pumpkin. That's a pretty fitting name, I have to say. And the green is meadow. This like sagey green. This one's a little brighter than it's showing up on camera. And then for the bottom and the like I-cord edge, I'm not doing stripes. The pattern calls for stripes, so that feels like, for the people that I would be giving this to, that feels very loud. For me, I might do stripes. And then I have this gray color for the bottom. I have 3 or 4 balls of this just to be safe. This is natural mixed gray, apparently. The pattern calls for a bulky weight 100% yarn. I think they specifically mentioned drops Nepal. Anyway, I was able to get the same weight by holding 2 strands together, which is why these are like this, because they're attached to the slipper. And that's like, I think it'll still felt fine. Don't know what's going on with my voice. Never do. So that's what's going on. I think I'm making 3 or 4 pairs. I asked my mom point blank. I was like, do you want me to make you some slippers, girl? Because she is a slipper woman. She's very particular about her slippers. So I was like, I don't really want to mess with that. But both my grandparents would like slippers, for sure. So I'm going to make my grandpa this color as well. And I think my grandma, the green or the orange ones, I haven't decided. Then my best bud's getting a pair of these slippers. And maybe one of my cousins, if I have time. If not, I think they might try to do some, like, painting for them. I think that would be really cute. So yeah, that's what I've been knitting on recently. I did have to rip it out. It got, like, most of the way through. So the pattern you knit, starting at the back of the heel, and then across the top of the foot, and then under. And I missed literally 20 rows the first time. I don't even know how I did that. But I missed 20 rows of my knitting. And I realized as I was like approaching the end of the heel flap, or the sole, and so I had to rip it all back, which is, I got these 2 balls of gray that are like fighting for their lives with an entire heel already rejected and then re-added. Yeah, so that's what I'll be working on for the next little bit. I think eventually I will felt them on camera. I don't know when. I don't know if it'll be in this video or in a different video, or if I'll like film the progress slowly but surely. Also for my partner for Christmas, we don't really give each other gifts necessarily. We like often treat each other throughout the year, so we find it kind of silly to like give each other gifts on Christmas Day. So for Christmas, we usually do like really small things. And so there's this sweater actually that he really loved, and I accidentally washed it with a pen, and it gave it like a giant gray jagged lightning strike line across this like wool, like this knit sweater. And so I think tonight or tomorrow night while he's out of the house, I think I'm going to dye it a blue color, like a slate blue. He really likes that color, and it looks good on him. To like cover up the fact that I accidentally dyed his sweater a weird lightning strike of black gray. And I think it's dark enough, the dye will be dark enough that you won't be able to see it, the pen mark, and then I can give him his sweater that he loved that's been sitting on a shelf for like a year and a half in a new color for Christmas. And I think that will make him really happy. Yeah, so that's the update right now. That's the update right now. Knitting away. I will talk to you again soon.